Hello, everyone. How do you watch movies and TV shows today? Do you go to a video rental store? Or do you just click a button on your phone or TV? Most of you probably answered the second one. But just 20 years ago, there was a giant company everywhere called Blockbuster. It was a huge store with thousands of movies. You would go there, pick a movie, rent it, and bring it back. Blockbuster was a king. It had 9,000 stores and made billions of dollars. No one thought it could ever die. But then, one day, a man had to pay $40 for a late fee. $40. Because he returned a movie called Apollo 13 3 days late. He was so angry that he swore to destroy Blockbuster. This is the story of Netflix, a story about a $40 revenge that changed the world. It is a story about innovation, a forgotten giant, and a revolution that happened right in front of our eyes. Are you ready to witness the downfall of a king? The year is 1997. Our hero is Reed Hastings. He was a smart engineer, a co-founder of a successful software company called Pure Software. He sold his company for $700 million. He was a rich man. He could do anything he wanted. But one day, he experienced something that made him very angry. He rented a movie called Apollo 13 from Blockbuster. He enjoyed the movie, but he forgot to return it on time. When he finally returned it, the clerk said, "That will be $40 for the late fee." Reed was shocked. $40 for 3 days late? He felt cheated. He felt embarrassed. He thought, this system is broken. There must be a better way. He started thinking. What if there was a movie rental service where you didn't have to pay late fees? What if movies came directly to your house? He shared his idea with his friend and business partner, Mark Randolph. Mark loved the idea. At first, they thought about selling videos online, but videos were heavy and expensive to ship. Then a new technology appeared. DVDs. DVDs were small, light, and much cheaper to ship. They could fit in a regular envelope. Reed and Mark tried sending a DVD to Reed's house in a small red envelope. It arrived the next day. The DVD was perfectly fine. That was the moment. They realized they had found the solution. No late fees. No going to the store. Just movies by mail. They named their company Netflix. In 1999, Netflix launched its monthly subscription service. For a flat monthly fee, you could rent as many DVDs as you wanted with no late fees. You would get your movies in a distinctive red envelope. You watched the movie, put it back in the red envelope, and mailed it back. Blockbuster executives laughed. They said, "Movies by mail? That's ridiculous. People like to come to our stores and pick movies." Blockbuster thought Netflix was a small, silly company that would quickly fail. In the year 2000, Netflix was still small. They were losing money. Reed Hastings decided to approach Blockbuster. He offered to sell Netflix to Blockbuster for $50 million. He said to Blockbuster's CEO, John Antioco, "We will run the online part and you run the stores. It will be a perfect partnership." John Antioco and his team laughed at Reed Hastings. They said Netflix is a small niche business. It will never be big. They sent Reed Hastings away. This was a huge mistake. A mistake that would cost Blockbuster billions of dollars and eventually lead to its complete destruction. Blockbuster continued to grow. They made more money than ever. They opened more stores. They focused on late fees, which made up 16% of their revenue. They loved late fees. Because of late fees, Blockbuster made almost $800 million a year. But Netflix was quietly building its business. Every customer who hated late fees slowly moved to Netflix. In 2007, Netflix had about 7 million subscribers. Blockbuster finally woke up. They realized Netflix was a real threat. They launched their own mail-order service called Blockbuster Total Access. It was similar to Netflix. You could rent movies online and return them to the stores. For a short time, Blockbuster even gained more subscribers than Netflix. It looked like the king would win. But then a new technology appeared. Streaming. Reed Hastings realized that the internet speed was getting faster. He thought, what if people don't need DVDs anymore? What if they can just watch movies directly on their computers? In 2007, Netflix launched its streaming service. At first, it was very basic. Not many movies were available for streaming. Customers were confused. They liked DVDs. Many people said, Reed, you are crazy. Why would you stop sending DVDs? Reed Hastings made a bold move. He decided to split the company. He called the DVD rental service Quickster, and the streaming service remained Netflix. Customers were angry. They had to manage two separate accounts. The stock price of Netflix fell dramatically. Reed Hastings had to apologize publicly. He admitted he had made a mistake. Quickster was canceled, but Reed Hastings never gave up on streaming. He knew it was the future. Netflix continued to invest in streaming technology. They made it easier to use. They added more content. In 2010, Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy. The king was dead. The company that laughed at Reed Hastings, the company that made him pay $40, was gone. The $40 revenge was complete. But Netflix didn't stop there. Reed Hastings thought, why should we only rent other people's movies? What if we make our own movies and TV shows? In 2013, Netflix released its first original series, House of Cards. It was a huge success. People loved it. It showed that Netflix was not just a technology company. It was a content company. After that, Netflix produced hundreds of original movies and shows. It changed the entire entertainment industry. Now, every major company like Disney, Apple, Amazon, and HBO has its own streaming service. They are all following Netflix's path. The story of Netflix teaches us many things. It teaches us that big companies can die if they don't adapt. Blockbuster was too focused on its old business model, especially the late fees. They couldn't see the future. It teaches us that even small ideas like no late fees can grow into a giant empire. And most importantly, it teaches us to be brave. Reed Hastings made many mistakes, but he always learned from them and kept pushing forward. He took a small anger over $40 and turned it into a global revolution. So next time you are enjoying a movie on Netflix, remember the man who hated late fees. Remember the $40 revenge. See you in the next episode.